This is pretty much a follow-up video to the one that I did yesterday involving Chris Brown, and then I was talking about mainstream media and their mind trickery, the video that I did. So, since the making of that video, Chris Brown has been released from prison, like I said, and I think I mentioned in that video that he was released from prison. There were no charges filed against him. It turns out that the woman in the case lied and about being raped by Chris Brown and what have you. I had even said that in the video, but it wasn't really too much to go off of. But now it has been confirmed. But it has also come out that Chris Brown said he is going to sue the hell out of her. Those were my words, not his, but he is going to sue her. And I say good, because and by they, I'm talking about mainstream media, has been dragging this man's name through the dirt, the mud, the fire, whatever you want to call it, for the last over 10 years since that Rihanna thing back in 2000, was it 9 or 2008? One of those 2 years, I think it was 2008. And they haven't stopped since. They want to see this man crash and burn so badly that they will put anything out there to make this stick. And the mainstream media needs L, but this is who Chris needs to sue. Not only does he need to sue that chick for lying on him, but he needs to sue the goddamn media as well, if that's even possible. Because they have been doing this shit to him for a very long ass time, and this is the one time out of many where they have severely slipped up, because they took whatever was said and ran with it, and none of that shit was true. Not one of it. But what's even more worse, and shout out to Town Biz because he actually pointed this out, but I was going to point it out as well too, is that you had our own agreeing and saying that, well, look at him now. He always attracts this. He always attracts that. He needs to have different people in his corner. Granted, he does have to have different people around him and whatnot. But to all you idiots that were going along with what mainstream media said, that's exactly why I said what I said in the previous video involving this. That's why I didn't bite my words when I said it. And some people got upset with me when I was talking about that video. I don't know why. It was true. They say a hit dog will holler. You got all these other Caucasian entertainers around here doing worse shit, and mainstream media will do their best to try to cover it up, and y'all will run along with that too. But when it comes to people like Chris Brown, I'm convinced some of y'all want to see this man crash and burn just as bad as the media does. Some of y'all will go off of any and everything that they say. I said something about this story seems very shaky, and I will wait and to pass judgment. That's why when it comes to stuff like this, I say if he did, if they did, then I will go forward with it. I don't just go and say, oh, they did, just because of who they are. Like, the shit is ridiculous. But I'm glad Chris Brown said he's going to sue that chick, but he needs to take his lawsuit a little bit higher than just the person involved who tried to get him caught up. They have been trying to get Chris Brown for the longest and will try and do any and everything. They are trying to box this guy in from his own success. Like I said, he just acquired his masters, and disregard the phone ring. He just acquired his masters a couple weeks ago. And then all of this shit pops up. Like, how can a lot of people not point this out? As a matter of fact, T.I. posted this up on his Instagram yesterday. And it's like, are people not putting the pieces of the puzzle together? Every time somebody, especially a black person, gets their masters, if they're a singer or some type of artist, then then they start doing shit like this. That's a fear a scare tactic they put into place so black entertainers don't try to acquire what's rightfully theirs, because they don't want them to acquire wealth. And that's where, for artists, that's where a lot of their wealth comes from, is their ownership in their publishing. If it's theirs, it belongs to them, and it should belong to them. And I'm gonna say, just like they did with R. Kelly, what they're probably gonna do with Chris, when Chris is gone from this world and he's transcended on years down the line, they're gonna get the rest of his music, and they're gonna start putting it back in commercials again. Because I remember when Chris was the last big endorsement Chris had was with that Double Mint gum commercial. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They took that song that he did called Forever, That real upbeat pop song that he did back in '08 or '07, whenever that song came out, and they used him and they remixed it and for that Doublemint gum commercial. And then after that, they snatched the commercial down, and you never saw Chris Brown in an endorsement ever again. So he hasn't, in essence, he really hasn't done a commercialized uh endorsement deal for any major company since then. But don't be surprised if his stuff pops up years down the line. I will give you an example. The other day, I was watching TV and three commercials came on where they used three black artists to advertise their stuff. I heard "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson. I think I heard a Jackson 5 song, and then I heard Biggie's "Hypnotize." So you hate us in life when we're, alive and doing our stuff, doing our thing. But in death, you use us because you need the money. And some of the songs they use don't even go right with whatever they're promoting. That's the thing that gets me. Like I'm still stuck on the fact that they use the song "Hypnotized" by Biggie to advertise Oreo thins. I'm still puzzled about it. Like, what does that have to do with the product? But that's really all I have to say as it pertains to this. Us as black people, you know how white people say we're going to sit back and we're going to wait for all the facts. That's what we need to do instead of jumping to conclusions, because a lot of black people unfortunately do that just to say, oh, I heard this first, I got here first, or I got here early. I bet people was getting ready to say, I'm going to cancel Chris Brown. I know people was probably getting ready to say that. Someone need to cancel y'all goddamn social media accounts because some of y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.